In building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. I used to sing those words, and I wasn't sure I really believed them. That we, you and me, were building a world for tomorrow that is nobler than the world we live in today. And then I came to Tulsa to become the senior minister of this church, and you have changed my understanding of what our lives are about and what's possible with the lives that we have in this institution that we steward in our times. When I came to be the senior minister here, I was 31 years old. I had no children. I'd never been the lead minister of a church before. In fact, I'd only been ordained for 9 months. 18 years later, a lot has changed. My wife and I quickly had 2 children after coming to Tulsa. Of course, we lost one child, tragically, who died unexpectedly at the age of 3. And then we adopted our 3rd child. And Tulsa has sure changed. It seems to be changing all the time with the Arts District and Guthrie Green and now the amazing Gathering Place. There wasn't even a Starbucks here when I came in 2000. I thought, where am I? A wise person once told me that we're either changing or we're dead. So check your pulse. If you're here, you're changing. We know that change is one tried and true law of life. But we also know that it's hard and most of us don't like it. Fortunately for us, we have all souls when the big changes come. When my children were born, all 3 of them were dedicated up here on this chancel by the late Dr. John Wolfe, whose words we heard earlier. Our daughter's ashes are in the garden beyond this window. And this community held us in our excruciating grief and loss. Now, our son started singing in the cherub choir when he was 6 years old, and he's been singing in the choir program ever since. He gave his credo from this pulpit on Coming of Age Sunday a few years ago. And this spring, I expect that he'll deliver his senior sermon on Youth Sunday. My daughter, she just flew up to the children's choir from the cherub choir, and she's going to be going next weekend to choir camp for the first time, and she's very excited. And her brother is looking forward to showing her the ropes of choir camp on his last choir camp. And now I'm 50. They say that's middle-aged. I think that means I've come to the age where it starts to show around my middle. What is it that Bob Hope said? That you know you're getting old when your candles cost more than the cake. Now, I started my birthday on Monday saying to myself, well, Marlin, here it is. You've reached the halfway point. And then I started thinking, statistically, I'm probably further than the halfway point. Reminding me once again that change is the one constant in life. But even as I've been through all these changes, there's much about me that's the same. You know, my hair may be getting grayer, what's left of it. My kids may be growing up. But concerning what makes me who I am, I'm still the same person who rolled into Tulsa in July of 2000. And the same could be said about All Souls. It's changed over the past 20 years. It's changed me over the past 20 years, and I bet it's changed you too. Yet despite the changes, in all the fundamental ways, it's the same quite astounding church. There are a lot of wonderful churches in Tulsa. Only one has a long history of welcoming people of many beliefs and speaking out boldly for equality and religious freedom. When marchers were being beaten in the streets of Selma, Tulsans of all religions and backgrounds came to All Souls to hold the city's first interfaith worship service right here in 1965 for racial justice. For years, All Souls housed the annual Holocaust Memorial Service, the annual AIDS Day Memorial, the Gay Men's Chorale, the Religious Coalition for Reproductive Choice, the Gay and Lesbian Prom, and nearly every controversial event and organization before it was popular to do so. For almost 100 years, All Souls has held an important place in the religious landscape of this city and in the lives of many Tulsans. Whenever there are local, national, or international crises, people head to All Souls for comfort, community, and for commentary that sharpens their perspective and inspires them to action. It was true 17 years ago this week on September 11th. This place was packed with people from all over the city and from many traditions. It was true after the shootings in Las Vegas last year. Now, you may have come when your child was told she is going to hell in elementary school. You said, I think it's time we find a church. Or when your child came out to you. Or when he overdosed. Or when she needed an abortion. You may have come when the doctor spoke the words, "It's cancer." Or there's nothing else we can do. A lot changes in the course of a life. And so it's good that some things should stay the same. One of those is that Tulsa needs All Souls to be here. Our founders knew that 97 years ago when they established this church in the YWCA downtown. They knew what when any of the above things that I just described happened in their lives, they didn't want to to turn to any other kind of church. And they didn't want others to have to either if they didn't want to. So the people of All Souls have built 2 churches so far in order to house the free spirit. One on Boulder and one on Peoria. And now we're about to build the 3rd on 6th Street. Now there are 2 things that all 3 of these churches have in common. One is that they prominently reflect our New England roots. John Wolfe told me why that was important some years ago. He explained that our churches are some of the original churches of this nation, where democracy itself began in America. Because these days we're open to religious inspiration from more than just Christianity, some churches in Oklahoma would like to make the case that we're not a real church. Dr. Wolfe always reminded us that we have one of the most significant claims to the Christian heritage in America. And much, if not more, than any church of any denomination anywhere. And our New England meeting house style architecture, it reminds people of our deep roots in American history. The second thing that this project has in common with the other 2 churches that we've built is that they were created for the children and the youth of our congregation. The church on Boulder was built because we were not able to have a proper Sunday school when we were meeting at the Majestic Theater in downtown. And then the difficult decision to leave Cathedral Row on Boulder in downtown Tulsa and move from that historic strip of Oklahoma churches into this grassy corner of Peoria and 30th was because there was not enough room for the children in the Sunday school. And the church knew that there's no future without our children. Once again, we embark on a return to downtown, and it's the children and the youth who are leading us there. If we're going to remain one of the dominant churches in this city, one that shapes this city's moral understanding of itself, and provide a home for this and future generations, we're going to need a facility that can attract young families and house the curiosity and ambitions of this new generation. The millennials got their name because they are the first generation to grow up after the bombing of the World Trade Center and the Pentagon in 2001. They are the most diverse, well-educated, and open-minded generation that has ever existed. They're seriously questioning traditional creeds and religions and the impact that they're having on our collective future. Never before have Tulsans of all backgrounds been so ready for and in tune with the values and the perspectives that we offer and represent here. Unitarian Universalism is poised to be a leading moral and religious voice in the 21st century, and All Souls is considered a leading example of this tradition in our country today. And this is thanks to you. None of what I'm saying would have been possible without your generous support of time, of talent, and of treasure. You made it possible. You make it possible. So thank you. The last thing I want to say before showing you a video of the new church design. You want to see a video of the new church design? Yeah. All right. So the last thing I want to say is that as we approach the centennial of that tragic day in 1921 that painfully divided this city, known as the race riot or race massacre, as more appropriately, All Souls is becoming a living community of hope and healing. And the world's salvation, if you will, is bound up in each generation doing what they can do to redress what's happened in the past and to build on what's been done for a brighter future, a nobler world for tomorrow than we have today. And this congregation is playing a vital role in Tulsa becoming a city, and I believe that Tulsa can be a city that can one day be an example to our entire nation. It was here that the United States experienced the worst race riot massacre of this country. It was here that the Trail of Tears ended. It was here that Europeans, Americans came in and settled and started with almost nothing and built a life. It's here that oil was discovered and became a major part of the American economy. This place where we live is a place where most of the important things that have made America what it is today, for good and for better or for worse, have been located in a significant and prominent way here. And what we do in Tulsa, Oklahoma, can be an example to the entire country. So thank you. More and more, we have Tulsans of every age and every background singing together, caring for one another, and working hand in hand for love and justice. So as All Souls enters its second century, because of you and the many luminaries of our past, we are a bright beacon of religious freedom and an expression of what such a congregation can offer the world. So let's make sure that Tulsa always has a pulpit that allows for the highest expression of the free spirit. A pulpit from which nobody can mess with the freedoms in this town without hearing from us. It's a legacy worthy of our sacrifice. So join me today in giving for the next generation. As we embark on this capital campaign for a new church, I want to ask you to look deep into what your contribution can be. This isn't just like our operating fund, which is so important. It keeps the pianos tuned and the lights on and our staff here and our walls painted. This is about making a difference for 7 generations from now. And so I hope that you'll look into your savings and into the depths of what you can do, because I truly believe that this is one of the most meaningful and enduring gifts you will ever give to the future, to this world, and to humanity. So thank you. I love you.
But now it looks like things are finally turning around. you're visiting with us online today. We love connecting with people all across the country and around the world, sharing our powerful message of love beyond belief.
There's something new happening here. You can now join All Souls as a virtual member. Our virtual membership is designed for friends who live outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and who want to engage with All Souls in a meaningful way.
You can be part of an expanding family, a global family really, wherever you are. If you live in Oklahoma,
Ohio,
or Orange County, California,
Canada,
or Cameroon. By becoming a virtual member, you'll be able to deepen your connections with members and friends here in Tulsa and with members wherever you are.
Each week, you'll receive special All Souls content tailored for you, our virtual members. Virtual members have access to pastoral care, to personal prayers, and also receive invitations to exclusive web events.
You can learn more, and if you're ready, you can become a virtual member today by visiting allsoulschurch.org/virtual membership.
We're grateful our ministries are having a positive impact on your life, and we want to share the good news of love beyond belief with more and more people. So no matter what, we need your support to keep this ministry growing and thriving, so please consider making a gift today. You can do so by texting
LOVEBB for Love Beyond Belief to 73256, or simply visit our website. You are a blessing in our lives. May you be blessed
and be a blessing.